Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for day 7 of our advent calendar series. If you saw my trailer, you'll know that I am selling something in my Etsy shop every day between now and Christmas Day. There are all different items, but today we have a very full, very chunky journal. So yeah, I'm going to just do the flip through and then I will give you the full details. Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do a flip through of another junk journal. Now I have to say, this is just even fatter. I don't know whether they're actually getting fatter and fatter each journal that I make, or whether that's just my imagination, but my goodness, this one looks just absolutely enormous. So the measurements of this journal are, it is about 6.5 by about 9. And oh my goodness, it's around about 5 inches at the widest part. So it's definitely very chunky. Right, so the cover, it's a soft cover journal. It's made, I think, from envelopes, although to be honest, it's hard to remember. And then the binding is just the sari silk, and all I've done is taken 2 lengths and knotted them in the middle. So it just kind of winds around, and you can obviously, take it off if you didn't want it on there. So the cover has been covered. The envelope forming the cover has been covered with some soft fabric, and then it has been layered up with some lace and some of this pretty net and things. You've got a couple of flowers there. And then on the front, a whole bunch of different kind of layering has gone on the front as well. And then we've got this gorgeous kind of topper piece with some of this, which is just some old jewellery of mine, which I've popped onto this, paper frame. And then you've got this big bow that I just made from some soft net from one of my daughter's old dresses. And then you've just got some flower trims and things, lots and lots of different things buried and kind of layered. So yeah, lots of different laces and trims and things like that. Just all kind of layered under one another. And then you've got one of my little tassels here, and this is just bulb pinned, attached on the top. So I mean, if you didn't want that on there, you can easily discard, and not have it. So going inside the journal, like I say, it's humongous. So I'm just going to move the camera down slightly. I really hope that I can actually, that it's all fitting in. So on the inside of the front cover, it's covered with, I think it's just got some paper and sort of other paper here kind of across the spine. You've got some lace trim, paper, fabric ruffle, a little button embellishment and some flowers. And then on here, some pretty sari silk, which is just attaching this kind of flap. So this is just a belly band. And then it's just got this kind of little flat piece. So again, I'm struggling to fit it in, but you've got journaling space under there. Little cluster going on there. And like I say, it just does up with the sari silk, which just looks so pretty, doesn't it? This sari silk was gifted to me in a Happy Mail. And yeah, I haven't got any more of this gorgeous colour. Well, I've got the rest that I have been hoarding that was sent to me, but I haven't bought any in that colour, if you see what I mean. I don't feel like I've seen it in that colour, but it's super pretty, isn't it? And then tucked in the side, this is just a vintage postcard. It's from 1953 and it's an authentic vintage piece. So that just goes in like that. And then on the facing page, there is a pocket with a sort of, it's a double pocket and then a pocket in the side. So with bits in there. So this one is this is some fly sheet from a vintage book. And then I've just taken one of my tickets and I've printed it out onto that flimsy kind of chip paper. And then I've just stapled that on there. So it unfolds, you've got journaling space, but you've also got the addition of just this little stapled on piece, just for interest really. Then I've got a copy of a vintage letter. And again, that's just been coffee dyed. So, it feels really nice and old. So that just tucks into that back section. This one tucks into here. Lots of pretty layering and things going on the pocket, and then tucked into the side, this is just a journal card just from my Victorian, could be gallery, could be springtime kit. I can never remember between the two because I launched them at the same time, and yeah, they kind of overlapped. So yeah, one or the other. And some lace trim down the side. And then going over the page, Love how this page looks. It's so, so pretty. So you've just got a collage piece here with a very pretty, I think this might have been part of a snippet roll on there. And again, that's just forming a belly band, and I've just popped in a journaling card in there. And then on the facing page, we've got a paper clip holding this one closed. And this is one of those, oh, I don't know what you'd really call this, but we've done these in a mass make, and you've got a pocket in here, which I actually haven't put anything in, but you have got a pocket in there. So if you wanted to put more things in, you could put something in there. You've got a pocket here. You've got obviously a pocket here, and then you've got another pocket in here, which again is empty. So, you know, you've got 4 pockets just going on in this little fold out piece itself. You've got some layering going up on the front, and then this beautiful little, you know, butterfly strip with the tab. And then it's also a tuck spot, and I just put in a journaling piece there. Now, this is again some collage masterboard with a cluster on it, and I've just backed it onto some fly sheet. So if you look closely, you can see text coming through from the other side of that book page. Doesn't bother me, but I do just want to point that out. So yeah, just in case you don't like things like that. So, and that just goes in there. You've got some fabric ruffle and a bow. Then going over the page, we've got a corner pocket here, and then this beautiful, beautiful, what do you call it, cluster with one of those wax cabochons there. So I'm just going to lift that up to show you how pretty does that look. Just gorgeous, isn't it? And this is actually some collage masterboard, this corner pocket. And then here we've just got a little fold out, you know, like pocket piece. You've got a tag on here, which I think might be another pocket. Yep, so you could definitely put something in there if you wanted. You've got a little journal spot on the front. And then going inside, you've just got a little tag and then a sort of matching tag on the other side. So that just goes in like that. And then on this side, you've just got a cluster and some sari silk. This is a short page that I sort of tore down. And then that's a cluster, a tuck spot also to put this journal card in. Then on this side, you've just got a little journal spot with a little circle and some fabric ruffle. Got here some greaseproof paper, and it's actually been beeswaxed as well. Some food colour paper here, just with a little sort of banner up there. You could probably, you know, slot something under there as well. So in fact, perhaps I'll just put this journal card under there. And then I could have done with ironing, but hopefully it was squashed down. And then here you've just got this lovely lady from my vintage cigarette cards and some lace. More journaling space. This is just some envelope page, and then here you've just got a little piece stapled on. So again, you could act as, or it could act as a tuck spot. And then you've just got journaling space on here and a flower and a label. Little half a label here, and obviously plain pages for journaling. And then here we've just got this gorgeous decorative edge strip, and I've used the decorated puzzle pieces, which I've done a video for. I don't know whether the video's gone up yet. And then I just did this beautiful envelope, which, oh, I just absolutely love how this envelope looks. So it's got this really heavy, what do you call it? One of my vintage circle kind of pieces. And I backed it onto, like, I think it was cereal box. So it feels really like heavy and nice. And just put a sari silk bow in that pretty pale pink sari silk. And then this here, this is a verse from... It was a World War I poem book, a vintage book. It's not hugely vintage, but from the 80s. And yeah, that just goes in there like that. So I thought that was really quite a nice kind of treasured type piece to put in there. And that just all slides into that, you know, belly band piece. You've got some sari silk at the top and, you know, a little flower and things there. But I mean, how gorgeous does that puzzle piece look? Just really pretty, isn't it? Okay, and then going over the page, yep, going over the page, I just had to kind of look at that because obviously that decorative edge strip was making me think it was a page. So we've got here another sort of belly band piece. Again, you've got lots of clusters and things going on here, and I just tucked in a vintage printable there. Some sari silk going down there and a butterfly, and then here on this side you've got, now I have to think how this works. Right. we've got paper clipped on there, and then also little kind of debris thing, you know, move that out of the way, and then you've got underneath here, and you could obviously journal on here, you know, if you took a Sharpie, I'm pretty sure it would show up okay. And that just closes like that, and then also paper clipped on, you've just got this pretty sort of flip down or flip out, I suppose, depending on which way up you have it. I just had it on this way because it clipped on nicely, and then just a printable journal card there from again, it could be the vintage gallery, Victorian gallery, could be the Victorian springtime, can't remember which, but one of those kits, and that's all just clips over there. More of that envelope page there. Really love you know, how that is. I just love the colour of the envelopes. And then just some vintage sheet music, and then you've got here, this is my Edwardian supper background pages, and I just thought that looked so pretty, printed onto the vellum and just in there. Just some food colour paper there, a little ribbon there, sort of in a banner style, some vintage book page, and then just a little tuck spot there with some of my little bird houses. And this is one of my Pink Ladies journal cards. This is a digi in my shop. That just goes in there, and then again, plain for journaling. And then on this side, you've got another sort of belly band piece here, again collaged up really with a variety of bits. You've got some lace trim going down the side, and a flower and a little pearl. And then I just tucked in again another couple of journal cards there like that, so super pretty. And then this is the center of the signature. I have to say, it just looks so pretty. I hope the camera is picking this up because it's so delicate, and yeah, just it's, well, I was going to say super colourless for me, but well, is it? I mean, it's got these you know, pretty vibrant sari silk, but yeah, it's just got the most gorgeous array of colours on this page, and I just really hope that the camera is picking that up because it looks so pretty when you open the, you know, open the page here. It's like, wow, looks gorgeous. So I've got a double pocket going on here, and that's made from some collage masterboard. So tucked into the first bit, I just included, this is some of that internal envelope. I just literally folded it up, stuck on one of my little vintage fashion plates on the front with some lace and some lace and some bling, and did a, you know, postage stamp over there, postage mark stamp over there. So that just goes into the front one. Another one of those Pink Ladies journal cards in there. And then on the facing page, again, this is collage masterboard, and it's formed a belly band piece there, a cluster on the front, and then some little flowers with pearls. And I just, can't tell you how much I love the colour of this sari silk. Oh, it's so yummy. I don't know even what that colour would be described as, to be perfectly honest, but my goodness, it's really stunning. And then I made just this little fold out. So this is just I think this is my Victorian Beauties background pages, and all I did was just took some floral page from a book, put that in, because that just goes so brilliantly, doesn't it, with this sari silk. And then this lace also just, you know, picks that up brilliantly, doesn't it? And I just popped on this vintage picture of this man, just again from a book image. Popped a little flower on with a pearl and just the word journal. But oh my goodness, just colour wise, that just is so yummy on there, isn't it? It just goes perfectly on here. So yeah, just really love how that looks. And that just goes obviously into that belly band like that. So super pretty page. You've got some lace trim down the edge, and then some fabric ruffle here, and of course you've got the sari silk on there just for the you know, yummy finishing touch. And then on the following page we've got a policy closure here, just forming this double pocket sort of envelope thing. So again, you've got a printable and then another printable in there, so like that. I wonder if I should swap those around. So we have the bigger one in the back and the smaller one in the front. So that's probably better. And then you've got some decorative edge strip going down the side there, which I just thought worked really well because it's got the pretty pinks and just, you know, picks it up beautifully. And another one of those wax cabochon pieces, which I just absolutely love. And then tucked into there, you've got, this is from some vintage book, and I've just backed it onto some ivory sort of card and decollaged the, you know, around with the scissors. And it just looks like a vintage photograph now, so you know, super pretty. So yeah, that just goes in there. And then on here you've just got, oh, I thought that was perhaps tucked out, but no, it's not. A little sort of cluster piece there with a little label. So again, you've got lots of journaling space on there. You could journal all over here. Obviously I would probably use white pen if I was going to journal on there. It would show up beautifully. You've got a little frame here, which again, you could use that as a tuck spot as well. So, you know, you can always put more things in. Some vintage book page again, and just a little frame here. And then here, another one of those little velvet ribbon banners. Obviously the rest of that food colour paper. The rest of this beautiful vellum. I mean, oh, so pretty, isn't it? Some more of the sheet music, another little banner, and some flowers. Again, some more envelope. Love how this looks. This is just like an applique like trim thing with some flowers, and I just put a little book plate over it. But how pretty does that look on there? Just looks so gorgeous, doesn't it? And then here on this page we've got a belly band piece with a foldy flip, and this is some envelope. You can see I've still got the sticky kind of on the envelope, but I just thought that worked really well, so it just tucks over like that. This is some of my inked pages, and then obviously one of my little Edwardian ladies printable on there. Oh, she's got a staple through her because she was a cluster. One of my umbrella printables, and yeah, it just looks really pretty. Again, some more of that scrumptious colour, sorry silk, which, oh, just love it so much. And I coupled that with the lace on here, and also a bow, which again just happened to be perfect colour. And then I've just inked up a little bit on the corners, which again, very similar colour, so it's just picking it all up and bringing it all together. But doesn't that look such a pretty spread? And then here, just tucked in the back, I've just got a journal card. This is from my Pink Parisian kit, super pretty. That just goes in there. And then I also have got a little envelope with a little printable on the front, forming a pocket. And then just a little journal card in there, so that just slides in. It's obviously a bit of a tight squeeze, doesn't really want to go in at all, which is typical, isn't it? You know, you make these things and it all goes in, and then come to do the video. Some more sari silk down there, and then tucked inside the envelope I just popped another little printable journal card in there. And then I think I just tucked this in via the flap. So the actual piece that's facing you is the front of the envelope. So super pretty. Then on here I've just got a cluster which is acting as a tuck spot for just a journal card. Super pretty. And then here we've got a little envelope with baker's twine holding it closed. Lots of things going on here. Lovely cluster with some stitching, pretty you know, flower and things. Open this out. It's one of those you know, envelope book things that I've done several times, I think, on my channel. You've actually got another pocket here, so if you wanted to put something in there you could. Then you've got some journaling pages going on here, and then tucked inside the envelope, again, this is from a vintage book. Again, just popped it onto actually some craft coloured card this time, decorated, or you know, cut the edges with some decorative scissors. So again, it just looks like a really big photograph, and I just love how these look. So, you know, and it provides lots of journaling space, and I love the feel when you've got a massive journal card. They feel awesome. Just, yeah, I don't know whether I'm the only person who thinks that, but yeah, I just love how they feel when you pull out a massive journal card. They're really tactile. Bits of you know, collaging going on there in the corner, and then yeah, back to here. So again, tie that together. Okie dokie. And then going over the page, we've got again some more fabric ruffle, and then just this beautiful little pocket here, again decorated up, and I've just popped in a couple of, oh no, sorry, just one. This is some printable, and again it's been printed on that oh, actually I'm not so sure that this was. This may have been printed on rice paper. It's really hard to remember, but I'm thinking this might have been printed on rice paper. It's definitely a textured paper anyway. And that just slots into that pocket like that. And then here again, this is a genuine postcard. Yeah, I can't really see where it's from, but Anyway, genuine postcard, and yeah, so genuine vintage postcard, perhaps I should say. Then you've got a little cluster down here, and again, just tucked into there, this is some more of that collage masterboard, and I just put just the tiniest bit of that sari silk just ruffled up there. How gorgeous does that look? I mean, that colour just, oh, it's so yummy, isn't it? That, to be honest, it would look gorgeous anywhere. But yeah, it just looks really pretty, doesn't it? This is an image from a vintage book. And then you've got a printable there that's been coffee dyed. And then this was just some, you know, genuine vintage ephemera. It's just a little torn off piece. This was how I got it. You know, I haven't torn it. This was how it was. But I just thought, oh, that's super cute. And we'll just kind of put it all in together behind that tuck spot. And it, yeah, it just looks really cute, doesn't it? And then you've got more journaling space, little label there that we've made on the sewing machine. And then tucked in here, you've just got a journaling card, more room for journaling here and here and here. More of that food colour paper, a little label there, but not label, you know, printable piece there anyway. Some lace trim, and then a butterfly here. Sorry, I'm just picking off the hot glue threads as I go through when I see them. The rest of that waxed paper. And then here you've just got one of those pockets. This is from my Perfect Pocket packs. So I can't remember which set this is, I'm afraid. But yeah, they're all in my shop anyway, if you wanted to kind of see them. Really super pretty pocket. And then again, just tucked into there, a bit like we did in, I think it was the first pocket, where we did just some fly sheet, again from a book. And then I just stapled on another one of those printed tickets onto that chip paper, and it feels really vintage. I mean, obviously this is vintage, this fly sheet, but this then feels really vintage too. So that just tucks in there. And then you've just got some lace going down the side and another sari silk bow. Just going to tuck that in there so it's not getting knocked about. And then going over the page, you've just got journaling space here. And then here we've got another corner tuck, again from some collage masterboard. And again, I'm thinking this must be on rice paper, I think. But it's very, very nice, I have to say. It feels lovely because it's super, super thin. Yeah, really, really love it. And this is obviously a, you know, printed piece of some vintage ephemera. So that just tucks up here. Have to be a bit careful because obviously it's, you know, it's very flimsy. Some lace down the bottom, and then this flower, which again has got one of those wax cabochons, which just, how pretty does that look? Going over the page, you've got room for journaling. And then here, oh, again, how pretty does this page look? I mean, can you tell I like pink? So we've got a very big pocket here, and you've got, yeah, lots of different bits and pieces tucked in. So I'll pull them all out so that you can see what's going on. So it's a massive pocket. You've got two pockets here at the side, and then you've got two pockets here straight across, if you see what I mean. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the side is also a pocket. So there is a lot of room on this page. So tucked into the side, I've got again another authentic, genuine vintage postcard that just goes in there. Tucked in the very biggest pocket at the back, I just made a journaling card. Again, I think this has actually got a, yep, pocket. So, you know, I mean, again, you could put something in there. I haven't really got anything ideal, but I can put that in there. It's going to probably slip in and no longer be visible by the time it gets to the person who buys the journal. But hopefully you'll remember that I put something in there. So, yeah, you've got a pocket there, an image from a vintage book, clustered up and layered with some paper and things, some labels. And this is some book page which I printed on. So, super pretty. And that just goes, oops, tucked in there. Then I can't really remember the order that I took these bits out from, but anyway, some authentic vintage ephemera. That just, I think, went in next. Like I say, I've lost track now of the order, so let's hope it doesn't matter. A journaling card again from the Pink Ladies journal cards goes in there. And then let's hope that I've got this the right way round. This is one of those mason jar, you know, pocket pieces. So again, it's got a pocket in the front, and I just put a little printable in there. So how gorgeous does that look? And again, I just tied some baker's twine around it to make it look like a lid, and then another little sari silk bow. So love how that looks. It's really pretty, very feminine. And then going over the page, is this the back page? Yeah, this is the back page. So in the back page, we've got another belly band with a little fold out. So again, you've got more journaling space. And then here we've got some items kind of layered up, lots of butterflies and things going on here. You've got a street name with some, you know, eyelash trim going on there. And then tucked in to here, I've done another one of those journal cards with the collage masterboard. And again, just popped on this man from a vintage book. Isn't that gorgeous? It just looks so pretty, doesn't it? And then got some more of that sari silk. I mean, it's just so lovely. So that just goes in there. And that sari silk, I mean, it just brings a little bit of kind of contrast to this whole page, doesn't it? So I just love it. Then on the very back page, I've got one of those, I think these were the Shinuki inspired pieces that we made together on a video. And I've used it as a pocket rather than a journal card. So I've obviously glued it on, you know, top, yeah, on 3 sides anyway. It's gone a bit bubbly here. I'm not quite sure what that's about. But anyway, you know, hopefully that's fine. And then you've got some fabric ruffle down the side and a bow. Obviously one of my printables there, one of my printable labels. And then I've just stapled on, this again is the Pink Ladies papers. And I've just printed it onto some thick vellum and just stapled that on like the tab. And again, I think that was actually all part of the Shinuki inspired pieces. So I just love how that looks. This is my Pink Posies background paper in the background, which just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And then this beautiful little frame piece on the, you know, pretty net on there. And then again, this is another image from a vintage book, and I've just put it onto this craft coloured card. And then what I did, this has been torn from a book. So I just took the, you know, the torn piece, tore it down, and I've just glued it on there, but left these bits kind of flapping, if you see what I mean. So you've got like the tear line there, and it's obviously glued together here, but it just kind of adds a bit of extra interest to that, which I just thought was really, really pretty. A little stamped image there and a little flower. So yeah, more journaling space obviously on the back. So that's the whole journal. Obviously we're back to the, you know, back to the end or beginning, whichever way you look at it. And yeah, that's the whole journal. So like I say, it then just ties together, or ties up, bound with the sari silk, which has been doubled over like that. And yeah, that's the whole journal. So yeah, it's going to. So I really hope that you love the journal. I mean, it's turned out absolutely massive, which is my favourite way to make them, it's got to be said. And yeah, if you would like this, really good luck to you. And it will be listed in my Etsy shop today at 2 p.m. GMT. So 2 p.m. GMT, this will be for sale in my Etsy shop. So good luck, and I hope you managed to get it. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.